Hey, Yvonne.
Hello, happy
Can you hear me?
Wednesday. I can, I
It
can.
is.
Are
Mm,
you enjoying
I
being at
can't,
your office?
you know what? It's really nice. It's a beautiful day, and we have just a lot of people kind of walking around. So it's good to see. It's good to see people getting out.
Yeah.
I think for the
Well, I
most
don't,
part, a lot of the fear has kind of settled a little bit. Um, I mean, I feel good.
well, I will say, I do love your little DIY little project putting flowers outside. It made such a huge difference. It looks so cute. I loved it.
Color, just pop color, just a simple fix, it adds so much to your curb appeal. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
been we've been doing well, once the grass starts to turn green, you kind of get a little bit of that spring fever. It's already May 20 whatever, today May 20th. And we are what, tomorrow's the first day of summer, or the 22nd I think is the first day of summer. I don't know, but I mean, like, we're like this close to summer, and I'm so ready. I am so ready.
We can
Yeah.
have a Zoom pool party. How about that?
Yes, yes, that's gonna be awesome. I have I'm so excited because I think I've shared with you before. I have two cousins that I love them so much, and we didn't really connect as kids because we're kind of different ages. But we kind of, when we moved away from California, my dad brought us to live here in Texas, and so I didn't have a lot of connection with my California cousins, and so I have connected with two of them that, oh my goodness, we're just become really, really close friends. And so I'm kind of sad because I was supposed to go to California next month for one of my cousins, her daughter's graduating high school. And so that kind of, obviously has been impacted by this whole pandemic. Um, and my other cousin lives in Georgia, near Atlanta, in a little suburb near the University of
Uh-huh.
Georgia, the Bulldogs. And so I'm going to get to see her. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to get to see her in a couple of weeks. They're coming. Oh, I hope I didn't let the cat out of the bag. But they should be coming for a couple of weeks. So I'm just so excited for family, just to see family and hang out. And our kids are the same age, so they always get along really great. So I'm excited because summer's here, because we're getting to be around each other, and we're getting to do some of those things. So yeah, it's exciting. So I'm gonna have an
Awesome.
office guest because she's gonna actually work from here while she's here, because she can work whatever, and so she's gonna be working from my office
Well,
a
we'll
few
have her
days a week.
pop
So
in on the next. We'll have her pop
mm-hmm.
in on the next
Yeah,
one.
yes, yes. So yeah, I'm excited. How about you?
Her. It's been
What
good.
do you got going on?
We had been, kind of stuck in the house for a little bit, and this weekend we took a drive to Concan, Texas, just to kind of
Oh
get out.
yeah.
And it was
Mm-hmm.
really pretty. We did, of course, we didn't go where like all the people were, but we did, find a little spot that we could sit, relax, put our feet in the little, water. And so literally the
Yeah.
Frio River was Frio, so it was cold, but it felt good because it was
Well,
nice and hot.
yeah.
But
Gosh,
it
that's
was good. It was
awesome. I
good.
can't wait.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about
Well,
the market. What's going on right now?
ooh, it's hot. The market is hot. It is, we are still busy. The challenge I'm having with some buyers is that inventory is moving quick. So before you know it, it's like, oh, we got like, 10 offers. Oh, we got 5 offers. Oh, it's a multiple offer situation and certain price points. Some other price
Yes.
points that are a little bit higher, they're moving a little bit slower. But overall, our inventory is so low. There are only 126 homes for sale in Helotes, Texas. And yet it is one of the fastest growing areas in Bexar County. And so,
Yeah.
my goodness, if you are thinking you might want to sell your Helotes home, call me, because we've got people looking and they are ready. And we're going to talk about market analysis today, and some of that. So we are seeing just a drop in inventory, slight drop in inventory, but we're seeing an increase in sales price.
Wow.
Over the weekend, I saw several homes with a buyer, and this is not just, 150, 200. This is in the 400 and above price point. They had 8 offers on that property, and well above list. And then another one that was above 500, multiple offers on that one as well. So yeah, it's a hot market. I'm busy, and I know a lot of other agents are busy, and people are looking to their realtors to trust them, to guide them, to help them to, be at an advantage, because you got to know how to negotiate a lot of these things, and you have to kind of know the ins and outs of, what it takes to get your offer ready. So yeah, it's good. Market's good. Can't complain.
Awesome. And it's so important too that they get prepared, right? Have a little bit of money, because especially if they're coming up with, 8 offers, having to fight against that. It could be a bidding war. So yeah, we always recommend getting them qualified up front and working through the numbers so that you know exactly what you have to submit for that offer.
Yes, exactly how we're going to package that offer up to maximize your efforts. So yeah.
Right.
It all starts with a good, solid market analysis. That is our first line of strategy, is figuring out, like, what does the market look like in your area in this particular home, and we're looking at apples to apples. So
right. So I actually have a question. So if I was a potential buyer, right, or if I was a seller, I could be on both sides. I'm thinking the market's hot.
Right.
I can put any price tag on my home, right? Because the market's hot, people are gonna do that. So if I was a seller, what would you really advise me at that point? Like, if I'm trying to go $10,000 higher, what would you tell me at that point?
Well, just like anything, and a lot of us are shoppers, right? So just like anything, supply and demand, right? So it depends on what your neighborhood is selling for, and it depends on what amenities your home has. Okay, so sometimes people will look to, oh, you know what, I'm going to get on Zillow and I'm going to see what my market analysis looks like. What is my Zestimate, right? Well, Zillow has never been Zestimate. Zillow has never been in your house. They've never seen the inside of your home. All they're looking at is what prices have listed for in the area, and it's an algorithm. So it's not even a human person that takes a lot of these things into account. It's an algorithm. It spits out a number and it says, hey, your home is worth X number of dollars, right? They've never been in your home. Okay, you might have done, really nice updates. You might have done, wood flooring, but your neighbors don't have wood flooring. Maybe you have, travertine stone. Somebody else might have just porcelain tile. They've never seen your home on the inside. You might have custom cabinets, alder wood, something like really nice, and your neighbor has builder grade cabinets. The difference with that market analysis is that a solid analysis of your home by an expert realtor who knows how appraisers look at your home. We're not appraisers, okay? We're not licensed, or most of us are not licensed appraisers, but we know what appraisers are looking for. And so we will give you our opinion of what that home would sell for. And how we do that is we compare apples to apples. So if you have a 5,000 square foot home and your neighbor is, 2,500 square foot home, yours is a 2-story, theirs is a 1-story, they don't compare. Okay, we don't look at 2-story and a 1-story unless there are no other options in the neighborhood. Then they will adjust for square footage, and then they will adjust according to, typically a 1-story home will sell for more dollar per square foot. So what we do is we are going to look at apples to apples, and then we're going to give you a range. And then we're going to give you recommendations. If you do certain upgrades, will that upgrade really bring that value to your home versus doing a good solid upgrade that will bring value? So if you have a new roof and your neighbor has a new roof, there's not an increased value. But let's say you have a metal roof and your neighbor has a regular, 25-year shingle, that brings value. There's different levels of accommodations and adjustments that we can make to help you to see the difference. But if you list your home comparable to your neighbor who is $10,000-$15,000 less, guess what? For $10,000 or $15,000, they're gonna look at your neighbor's house, and they might even go to another neighborhood if they can take the price point a little bit higher, where that price point will buy them more home. So you can potentially price yourself out of the market, stigmatize your home, you overpriced it, and now it's sitting because nobody has looked at it, or nobody has made an offer, and now you're kind of forced to drop that price. And so you have kind of set yourself up for a little bit of a setback, because those are the kind of things that happen in the market. I love to compare it to like a pair of shoes. That Nordstrom's, right, sells that same pair of shoe, and maybe Saks or whatever sells the same pair of shoes for less. Well, it's the same shoe. So why would I pay, $50 more for that same pair of shoes that I could get for $50 at this other store? So it's that kind of comparison that I want to share with you. Yeah, you got the name brand but it's the same shoe. So those are things that you want to consider, because you could potentially sabotage your position in the market by overpricing your home just because you feel like you want to get $10,000 more for it.
Right, definitely.
On the listing side. And when you're a buyer, you don't want to pay for the highest priced home in the neighborhood. You want to know that the home that you're making an offer on, that you have some kind of a strategic advantage, that you're not the highest priced home going in. And so if in some cases, people are like, I really want the house. It's okay, I will pay full price. In this case, it was a $515,000 home. It sold, or they went under contract above list price. If that person really wants that home, they risk the situation of it not appraising, and now they're having to reduce the cost. Or if the seller doesn't want to reduce the sales price, either you're out of a home or you're going to have to come out of pocket with the difference. And so you don't want to be the highest priced buyer in the neighborhood, because you kind of want to be in a good position to come in with some equity. And so you want a good, solid market analysis to show you what has sold in the last 6 months, especially if we're in a real active market. We go back 6 months, or we can go back as far as 12 months, depending on how much has sold in there. But a good expert is going to know, what are we looking for? How quick is that market moving? Do we need to go back 6 months or 12 months? What can we ask for? Because we know what other sellers are giving the buyers in concessions. And then we can, strategically make your offer so that there's certain things, and I won't give you all the details of it, but, obviously some of our clients are watching. And so they know kind of the things that we talk about to help maximize your offer presentation. And so that's what you want to do as a seller and as a buyer. But I know you have done a lot of refinances. And I know right now refinances are kind of like, depending on who the lender is, are they doing them? Are they not doing them? But how do you use a market analysis?
So kind of what you've explained too, we heavily look at what has sold within the last 6 months. We will go to maybe a 12-month, maybe if it's like a unique market where maybe properties are just not selling, that much in that area, you might have to go back. But yeah, we look at sold properties within the last 6 months heavily, and within a 1 mile radius. So if they can find something same street or right down the block, those are the ones that we do prefer. Because we're looking, like you mentioned, comparables. What are apples to apples? Are we looking at the same homes, and what have they sold for? Sometimes we do get a lot of confusion where individuals are looking at Zillow and it's not accurate, or they're looking at a home that just got placed on the market and it might be listed higher, but it hasn't sold. So we can't actually use that. So it definitely has to be something that has sold recently that we're going to look at and compare. But that has been a good one. And I've noticed for us, when I'm doing refinancing, what has come up in conversation, and I know is a hot topic for you and I, is we pull up the tax bill, right, of what individuals are paying. And I'll be surprised that yes, and I've been surprised recently that sometimes the tax bills are even higher than what the current market value is.
Yep.
And so that has led us to conversations where we're like, somebody needs to dispute their taxes, or somebody needs to look into it, because it's just amazing. And like you said with Zillow, nobody from the Bexar County comes into our office, right? Or to our homes to assess value. They're just, I don't even know what their process is or how they do it, but I think they just take a general tax rate and say, this is what we're increasing, all of it.
Yeah. And some people think it's like a take it or leave it. Like you can't really do anything about it. And you're right. When we look at comparables in the neighborhood, we look at neighborhood specific. So, if it's, name your neighborhood, I'm just gonna say Wild Horse. We look at Wild Horse. Wild Horse is very dense. And so there's plenty of inventory in there that you can compare to. We wouldn't take a home in Wild Horse and compare it to something in Valley Ranch, because they're very different neighborhoods, and there's no need. And so that's what the appraisers are going to look for. So because we've been through classes, because we've known appraisers, because we've even had to dispute values with appraisals that have come in short, we know what those appraisers are looking for. And so we can help you with that process. So even before we get to that point, we kind of want to put you in that ballpark. Number one, we want you to price your home to sell. And number two, we want you to be able to buy a home that is within that market range. And on occasion, they come in short for our buyers, and that's okay, but there's always a solution to that. But we're talking about the 2020 tax bills. If you haven't already gone on bcad.org, bcad.org, to look at your tax bill for next year, I almost passed out. I was looking at ours. I was like, it was a huge improvement, I guess, for the county. But in some cases it's extreme. In some cases it's justifiable, but in some cases it's a little on the extreme side. And so there is an appeals process. If you didn't know this, if you are having that issue and your tax bill has gone way up and you're just like, there's no way, contact your trusted real estate agent, and they might be able to run a really quick market analysis for you and show you what has sold in your neighborhood, so that you're not, without some form of presentation to the Bexar County, because they're going to want to see a market analysis. They're going to want to see why you think that your home doesn't meet that value. But oftentimes what we look at as tax value and market value are two different things. When you sell your home, it's not based on what your tax value is. It's based on the community and what it has sold for. Market value is basically defined as what is a buyer willing to pay for a home in that neighborhood. And so like those ones that I just told you over the weekend, if they do close at above that list price, they just set a new market value for that neighborhood, which is great, right? If you want to sell. But when that gets reported to the tax district, and sometimes they look at MLS and they look at what the homes have sold for, your tax value might increase exponentially, right? So we're, we can serve with a good, solid comparative market analysis. We can help you sell, buy, dispute your taxes, refinance. And so that's what market analysis do for us. We know what's going on in the communities. We know what's going on in San Antonio. My office is in Helotes. I'm very deeply rooted in the area, so I know what's going on. I know the things that are coming, and sometimes people don't realize that that has a lot to do with your value too. So it's fun research.
And I think, just like we monitor our credit, right, all the time, I think it's important that we do like an annual checkup on our home just to see where is the value at? Is there anything I can do? And like you mentioned, as far as disputing and so forth, aside from disputing, you want to make sure too, if you're eligible for any discounts or exemptions from the county, you want to make sure that you put that in there too, because you could find a ways to save a little bit money. And so when you go to the same website, bcat.org, there's on the top, there's forms that you can do. So you want to definitely make sure if that is a home that you live in, everyone is eligible for a homestead exemption. Yeah. So download that form, fill it, and then mail it directly in there. Yes. But if you have any other, maybe some disabilities or charitable, information, there is a list of the forms that you might be eligible for that you can complete and do that. So make sure that you're just always get with your, your real estate professional that helped you purchase that home. Or if you don't have one, then definitely reach out to Betsy, because she can do those comps for you. And I'm not too sure if you know this, but on your mobile app that we have set up for you, when you share that link, someone can actually go and get an annual analysis instantly. And it does get the information from MLS. So download Betsy's app if you don't have it, and then go ahead and request your annual update. And then you can definitely check in and see how they're doing.
Yeah, and on our website, harvestagents.com, there is an option for you to check what your home is worth. And then, of course, like I said, nothing is more valid, right? To have that information and to know what exactly your home is worth. And so condition has a lot to do with it. Upgrades that you've done to it have a lot to do with it. Zillow is a great tool. It's a great tool because people love to search for homes, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's not the most accurate, obviously, in terms of giving you a value for your home. And it's really not even the most accurate in telling you which homes are available, because we get people send it, oh, I found this house on Zillow. I found this house on Zillow. I'm like, well, that's no longer available because they don't update. I mean, they're pulling from thousands and thousands of MLS systems across the country. And so they're not updating all that information daily. So it's a fun tool to play with, to kind of look at homes and kind of get some, some views of the insides of the homes. And that's great, but nothing really replaces your person that is feet on the ground, eyes and ears, finger on the pulse of real estate in your community. So trust your realtor. If you don't have one, let me be the one for you. And know that Yvonne and I have worked, like I said, I think I had like a memory pop up. It was like 7 years ago that we sold a property, or that you helped him with a mortgage and I helped him to buy the home. And so we've been doing this for a long time. So guys, you know what? These gray hairs, they don't come.
Well, mine are showing today.
Mine are too, but I have an appointment next week. So hopefully I'm going to feel so much better. It's just something about a girl getting some pampering. I need it.
I want to say that it's wisdom, but I'm not too sure.
I'll take these for wisdom. My laugh lines. But guys, I hope that was informative for you. If you are thinking about possibly putting your home up for sale, there is a great demand for homes right now. We are at an all-time low inventory across the city. Right. So it is a good opportunity if you're thinking about selling. If you're thinking about buying, now is a really great time because interest rates are still low, historically low, I think. And so you want to get with us and we can definitely lead you in that direction.
Absolutely.
Okay. So have a fantastic week. Enjoy the first days of summer. And I think what day, today is the 20th and the first day of summer is, I think the 22nd or the 23rd, one of those. But yeah, it's like right there.
Two or 3 days.
Two more days. But I mean, the weather's, the temperature says it's summer. So I'm going with that. Okay. Have a fantastic week. Thanks, Yvonne.
All righty. Have a good one. Bye-bye.